Awesome. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I'm super, super blessed to be here with you guys on this last Monday of July. I can't freaking believe another month is being checked off, right? It's insane. And I've got a couple of announcements before I introduce our guest speaker who is going to bring it home for us tonight for the month. Hopefully we get off this call. My whole thing is that you come ready to grow, but that you leave ready to move, right? And so I love like the notebooks out. I love the cameras on. I love that you're leaning in and ready for a good word. What I want to see after you get off this call is putting it into action, right? Take what she's got to say tonight and put it into action. Couple things. Number one, it's with a really, really heavy heart that I share with you guys that one of our very own has experienced loss that I never in my life would even remotely wish upon another human being. Ivory, if you know Ivory, she's been a staple on our team for years now, but she's not on social media or on Facebook, so you wouldn't see her on our team page, but she is a staple in our sisterhood. And her daughter, last December, if you've been on our team for a while, you probably remember that her daughter, 7 years old, Sophia, was diagnosed with leukemia. And so we were sweating for her. And we showed up for their family, and they felt it. They felt it. And for the last 7 months, they have been in and out of the hospital. And I got word today that Thursday last week, Sophia passed away. And so if you haven't seen the post on the team page yet, go over there and check out the ways that you can surround and support this family. When one of ours is hurting, we're all hurting. And you don't build shelter when it's raining. And thank God that Ivory built her shelter here with us in the sisterhood in a time of sunshine, so that during this time we can just wrap her in the shelter that we have, right? So you can check out the team page post over there for ways that you can just wrap their family in love. And I have zero great segue out of that because it is just an announcement I never want to have to make on our team. But keep in mind that it is the last week of the month, my friends, and your goals, my friends, are worth working till the final bell. Okay. When we get to the last week of the month, I tend to see two things happen to coaches. I see coaches who will either make it non-negotiable that I will hit this. There's no way I'm not hitting Success Club. There's no way I'm not growing my team. There's no way I'm not doing this. And then I see coaches who say, maybe next month. But the thing is, the coaches that say maybe next month comes and nothing really changes. Right? So you have to get laser focused on what it is you're doing here. What is the mission that you're doing? And there will be no doubt in your mind that you will achieve those things because it's more about the mission and less about the numerical goals, right? So Biz and Bubbly is one of those incentives coming off of Summit that I gave all of you guys as kind of that next shiny thing to run after. And it is a one-day virtual retreat. You're going to get a box mailed to your house with goodies in it. You know I love good swag. And it's just going to be a day of workouts, of leadership training, and just being part of community around the fire with other people who are moving their businesses forward. And the criteria, the benchmarks to be a part of this, they're really not that hard, my friends, at all. You need to hit Success Club in July, August, and September. And over those 3 months, you need to grow your team by at least 2 people. And then whether, depending on your rank that you currently are, your lifetime rank, there's information on the team page about what you need to become September 30th. If you're Emerald or coach rank, you need to at least have your Emerald back. If you are Diamond Plus, you need to at least be Diamond by 9:30. So for some of you guys, you'll grow your team by 2, but that also means helping inactive coaches go active and things like that, right? Yeah, Sarah, I know you will, girl. I see you. Maybe me too. So I want you guys just to keep that as the target this week. Because if you don't hit Success Club for July, you have literally taken yourself out of the running for Biz and Bubbly. And I know what happens when a coach doesn't hit that first month. I tend to see what happens. We get deflated. We missed this 1 month, so it trickles into the following months. And I don't want that for you. I want this to be the catalyst for why you show up even harder in August, why you show up even harder with fire in your belly for September. So far, congratulations. I believe, and if I'm wrong, correct me in the chat, please, but congrats to Leah, who's already checked off July for Success Club for her invite, and congrats to Andrea, who has also already checked off Success Club in July, and both of them have checked off that first box to get the invite to our very first virtual retreat. So I'm super pumped about that. Do not let them be the only ones, right? Come on, ladies, let them have a crowd with them. Okay, enough for announcements from me. I'm going to pass the mic over to my dear friend Kait. I got the pleasure, you guys, of getting to pour into her team a few weeks back, and honestly, it's just a treat sometimes to get to see people behind the scenes, right? We connect and we're able to, say, hey, my team needs this, my team needs that, right? But sometimes when I get to see the story under the story, it just makes things that much more special. And I feel like Kait has just such a beautiful story of how this community has helped support her and surround her, and how it's different maybe than other communities that she's had in her life. Her team is a lifetime 2-star team, and they were premier team last year, which is insane. And something that I freaking love is she's a Success Club 10 all-star legend. What does that mean? Consistency. I mean, she's consistent AF, and I freaking love it. And so she's got a word tonight about bringing value to your vitals, which I'm certain is probably key to that consistency, and also a diamond mindset, which I think is going to be really great for all of us tonight, as we are in a no diamond left behind kind of push right now. So Kait, I'm gonna mute. You can take it away, sis.
Thank you so much for that intro. Hi guys, a lot of fun faces on this call. So as she said, my name is Kait. I am 30. I turned 33 a week ago. 33 years old. I'm married. I don't have any kiddos yet, but I have been coaching since. I've been a part of Beachbody since August of 2007. Thank you. I've been part of Beachbody since August 2017. I signed up as a discount coach. I didn't actually start coaching until, I think I had like 3 different start dates, but in the middle of like 2018. I am a turtle in this business. So when I tell you about this value and consistency and stuff like that, it wasn't about speed. It was about being consistent, like she said, and showing up every single day, and just trusting the process. So like she said, I think the story underneath the story is like super powerful. So I do want to give you a little bit of my backstory, and just like trigger warning, I do have kind of like a deep, dark story. I'm going to try to make it as light as possible. But so before I started, it was like 2017, and I saw my coach out on Facebook. She was just running on Facebook, and at that time, I literally just wanted to lose weight. I had no other like thing going on. I just wanted to lose weight. And I saw her doing size on Facebook Live. And I was just like, oh, she just looks like she's having fun. And I'm thinking about doing that. And I reached out to her. She told me a price, and then I never talked to her again until she like reached out to me like months and months later. But backstory to that, when I was in my early 20s, I battled with opiate addiction. I am 9 years clean now, but that was a big part of my life at the beginning of my 20s. And that was a really, really hard thing. And what people don't tell you is when, people like applaud people all the time for getting out of addiction and getting clean, and it's an amazing accomplishment, but they don't tell you also how hard that is. You lose a lot of things. Even though my friends were very toxic, they were my friends, but you lose all of that. And not only that, but I had a lot of health issues. Since I was 16, I was dealing with chronic migraines, which is part of the reason I kind of got addicted to opiates. But I had chronic migraines. I was having 8 to 10 a month. I had to stab myself in the leg with these like injections to make them go away. I ended up having to get Botox. You know how expensive that is? I ended up getting Botox in my face to take care of my migraines. I battled with depression and anxiety, very bad anxiety, which all, got worse when coming out of addiction. It didn't get better. And I want to say that, but like, it's very hard coming out of that. And it was a long process. And I was actually on a maintenance medication to kind of handle the withdrawals and stuff like that. And I was on that for a very long time. When 2017 came around, I was actually getting married that June. And I told myself I wanted to be completely off of everything, including that maintenance medication, before I got married. And I accomplished it. I did. But in the process of doing that, I gained like 35 pounds. I gained a lot of weight. And I felt like shit. My health problems got worse. My anxiety got worse. It was so hard. And like I said, I reached out to my coach in January. I saw that. And then she told me, and it sounded like work, whatever. I did everything under the sun besides that. I did YouTube workouts. I did apple cider vinegar. I bought these like skinny teas that just made you go to the bathroom a lot. I did everything besides want to do work because I never worked out a day in my life. I went to the gym once with my husband and I got stuck in a pull-up machine and it was very embarrassing. And I never went back again. So then my wedding was in June of 2017. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was the best day of my life. And then I got back from my wedding. We went to my honeymoon in Jamaica. And it was an amazing time. But then when I got home, my wedding photographer, she texted me and she said, I have some of your photos. And she sent me over a disc of them. And when I opened them up, I was like, Kate, what have I done? And I didn't want to feel like that. I literally looked at them, and there's still some that have not seen the light of day. They're hidden in my basement right here. And I did not like what I saw. And it wasn't even that I saw that I was overweight. I looked sick. Like, and I was in, at my own wedding, I had to carry around migraine medication and anxiety medication in my little purse to make sure that I could get through the day. And that's not something that I wanted to feel like. At that time, I was also, like I said, I was dealing with a lot of stuff coming out of it. So, I was treating myself with literally, I'd come home from work and I would drink like an entire bottle of wine. And I'm not even like exaggerating. I was in a really bad mental space. So I finally reached back out to that girl that I was following on Facebook, and I said, okay, what do I have to do? Like, that was my, like, bottom line point. And she set me up. I told her I wanted to be her worst customer. I'm like, I'm not going to finish the shakes. I don't know why you're setting me up as a discount coach. Like, I'm not going to have those again. I don't want to follow your meal plan. I was super picky. My fridge had like nothing in it. It had a jar of pickles and hot sauce. So she gave me like a list of foods. I crossed everything off and I said, okay, figure out what I can eat. I didn't want to do any of it. So when all my stuff came, I waited until my package came to start the workouts, and I just had my little tiny apartment kitchen, and I put on core de force because I was like kickboxing. Like I said, I never worked out. I didn't need to have any equipment. So I kickboxed around my kitchen. I thought that would be fun. I remember my husband came over and he was like, oh, you look like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was like, yeah. And I just felt really good. Like within, I don't want to exaggerate, but like within a week, I was like, wow, like I felt really good. I didn't lose anything. I wasn't, I didn't look any physically different, but I could just feel, I was like, this is what I was needing, these endorphins. And I was, like I said, my diet was horrible. So when I had the shakes, I was like, okay, I could kind of do this. I can drink a chocolate shake before. I'll have you know, I'm a 365er times 3. So that me not saying that I was not going to drink the shakes anymore, that did not happen. And I'll have you know, like that's trust. When I live by Beachbody. I love these products and I use them religiously, not because I sell them, but because I absolutely love them and they changed my life. But I started to feel amazing, and I kept doing that. I didn't even really follow a calendar. I didn't really follow the meal plan. I did the best that I could, and I ended up losing like maybe like 10 pounds. But the thing that happened was I started way too late. And then in December, so I was in like a little challenge group on Facebook, and I had met a couple friends in there. I was like a really good challenger. I showed up all the time, and one of them who's still like my best friend today, her name is Emma, and we had gotten really close in that group. But then in December, I ended up having a total, like, everything that I had like built up that I never dealt with, and I just kind of like tried to hide, ended up catching up to me. I started working on myself way too late, and I had a complete mental breakdown. I almost destroyed everything in my life, and it was really scary. I ended up getting diagnosed with bipolar 2. And I blocked my coach. I left my challenge group. I blocked her on my iPhone too. Like, I wanted nothing to do with her. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. And like I said, I was a part of this really, really toxic community of other addicts that were trying to get like clean and stuff. And they were really horrible people. They actually like they used to like want to watch me burn. Like, they were not, like I said, toxic people were in that community. And what did I expect? I expected nothing more than no one to give a shit that I left that challenge group. Sorry if I swore. But my friend Emma, she noticed that I didn't stop showing up. She noticed that I wasn't there anymore. And she found a way to reach out to me and get a hold of me and tell me, like, I'm feeling this way too. Like, I think at that point, 80-Day Obsession was coming out. And like, wasn't really doing a full program. And she was like, Kate, like, I really think that we can do this together, and we can get in this and like do this together and like go all in and link arms with this. And I was like, oh, somebody cares. And it was like a supportive person in this community that really got me back into it. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be. And it was me and one other girl, and we started this 5 a.m. club, and we went all into 80-Day Obsession. And what I'm talking to you guys about today is giving value to your vitals. And the first vital behavior that you guys have, and I know your vitals are probably something that everyone tells you, do your BAT, do your BAT. And so I don't want to tell you guys anything you don't know already, but I'm hoping to just give you a little bit of a boost into really how to, because what we're talking about is when you're doing your BAT, what are you doing? You're checking boxes on a screen or on a piece of paper, and you can do that all day. I can go through there right now and I can check all the boxes and say that I did all the things. But what I want to share with you guys is, are you really doing all the things? Are you really doing all the things? So like I said, I started doing 80-Day Obsession, and I went all in. I did that time nutrition. Like, there was I did that time nutrition. I did the refeed days. We woke up every day at 5 a.m. I had that accountability, and it absolutely changed my life. And I know it's changed so many people's life. That program was incredible. But I went all in. I did the hard thing now. I live right now by the 80-20 lifestyle. Like, that's part of like my brand. Like, I love that. I love living my best life. But telling you guys, if you have not done a program from start to finish, all in on the nutrition, all in, guys, you have, what is 645 right now is 90 days. I did 80 days. You can totally do 90 days. I was horrible at working out, horrible at nutrition, and I was able to do it. And that's how I was able to build the consistency and dedication that I have now. And it builds trust with your audience. I didn't have an Instagram, but I was on Facebook. And I was showing up, like I said, I wasn't coaching. So it was from January to March. I wasn't coaching, but I was feeling so good. And I was still like sharing, and people were watching me. I wasn't even a coach yet, and people were watching me, and I was sharing my transformation. I lost 35 pounds. I got into around the second, like I started doing kind of like a second round. I got into incredible shape. I no longer have any migraines. I don't even know, my doctor doesn't like believe me anymore. I got off almost all my medications besides my bipolar medication. I felt so good. I became a happier person. Like, I was such a mean girl with like these mean friends, and I gained this incredible community and like these friends that we, at the end of 80 Day Obsession, we all went shopping together. And I was like, this is like what real friendship is like. And it's just people watched that transformation happen, even though I wasn't coaching. They watched me show up every single day. And that absolutely changed my personal life, was going all in, go all into a program. Because during that time, I think I started coaching around March. I finally said, my coach kept reaching out to me, asking me to coach. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I had like a stigma against network marketing. And then she kind of like, my upline is Ashley Dyson. So when she popped into my inbox, I was like, oh, I was like fangirling. I'm like, okay, then I have to, I guess I'll start coaching. And so I started to do it. But guys, I didn't sign up anybody. Because I wasn't doing the second part of the business activity tracker, that part that like actually grows your business. I wasn't doing any of that. I was showing up to myself. I was doing all the work for myself, but I wasn't doing any other stuff. But that first part was so important because I went all in, that people were watching me. So I would say the 80 Day Obsession changed like my personal life. But it was with that July that Lift 4 came out, and that is what changed my business, because people watched me build that consistency. When she says I'm a Success Club 10 All-Star legend, I didn't go like 2, 4, 2, 0. I went 0, 0, 0, 0, and then I hit 10, and I haven't stopped. I'm on 36 right now. And that is because I went all in and people watched that. So then when I came around and I said, okay, Lift 4, I am here now. They built trust with me. They saw me show up, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm coaching and I'm starting this new program, Lift 4. I was in the middle of buying a house. I was in between houses. I was busy as hell, but it worked for my lifestyle. And I started showing up, and I made a group. That's when all of a sudden, all those people that were watching me, all those people that were saying no all the time, there's people right now that I started reaching out to then that are still just saying yes today, because I am a follow-up queen. And that's when I hit Success Club 10, and I've never gone back to before that, because I'm staying consistent on my own journey, as well as starting to actually do the things, right? So that's a little bit of my story, little clip notes of it. But my biggest thing about going all in is get yourself a transformation. And maybe you don't need a physical transformation yet, maybe you're already, but there's so many different types of transformations. I've shown so many different things. I've shown like my hands or my wedding ring fits differently. There's mental transformations. There's tons of different transformations, but go all into a program and really, really do that. Do the scary program. What would you tell your challengers and your coaches to do? There's so many times, and going to be completely transparent right now. July has been absolutely nuts for me. Between Summit, it was my birthday. I went on 2 vacations, and it's been crazy for me. And I haven't been on my A game. When you're not on your A game, your business is not on your A game. My business could be doing better right now. And I had to really take that in and own that, take responsibility for that. And that is because I'm over here telling my challengers and my coaches, oh, you need to do this with your nutrition, and you need to do that. And then I'm showing on Instagram that I'm out living my best life, which is fine. But when I'm not on my A game and I'm telling my challengers and my coaches, it comes off fake. And it comes off like, you don't have to do the things, you have to do the things, but I don't have to do the things. My upline Ashley, she always tells me that when your nutrition is not on point, your business is not on point. And I don't know why it's true, but it's absolutely true. So I have to always give those gut checks to myself too. So I want to talk about the second business activity. Do the scary program. The second part of the business activity tracker is the part where your business grows. Guys, if you do anything, if you don't have time in your day, do number 2 first, which is connecting, inviting, sharing. That is where your business is going to grow. And this is a part that I feel like people just check off without really actually giving value to it. I, since the beginning, have shown up with I know my brand and I know what I'm here to share. I'm here to help the girls who are at a mental low like that. I'm here to help people show that, you know, you're able to get through rock bottom. I'm here to bring fun and joy. I talk a lot about mental health and try to make people happy. Every time I show up on my Instagram, on my stories, or on my posts, I ask myself, am I making someone smile right now? Am I inspiring them? And am I giving them something? We have to give things to receive things. And there's been a lot of times where I catch myself on stories, and I know we all do this, where I'm just narrating my day. Is that helping anybody? Is narrating your day helping anybody? Is right. And it's fine to do that once in a while. And it's fine to share, you know, the posts of you and your cat and your dog, and, you know, show who you guys are as people, because that's important. But in there, it's more important to give the valuable posts. I know we used to say, like, social media changes so much, and we used to say that, you know, you have to post every single day. When I started, it was post every single day on your feed. I know things have changed since then. Personally, I say, is it better to post 7 days a week of nothing of value that gives anything to anybody, or is it better to do 4 really valuable posts that you put time into and gave something to somebody? I kind of like to give like examples. So when I show up on my stories, so every single day, just like little examples of things that I do, I try to think of what I can give them to give back. Every single day on my stories, I give them a free move. Just a free move from the program that I actually, with the captions, I can actually caption the trainer. They can actually hear Moila and read it on the screen, because I know people like tap through, and I give them a free move they can try. I offer sample workouts all the time. When I am talking to anybody and they say no, I don't try to go against any objections. I give them a sample workout. I say, okay, great, but maybe you want to try this out at some time. If you have time, you know, give this a spin and let me know how you like it. That's a really easy way to follow up with people too. They give you an objection, give them a sample workout, and then a couple weeks from then, you can pop in with them. Super easy way to follow up. Hey, did you ever get a chance to try that sample workout? But I'm always trying to give them something, give value, give them some way to take something away from what my page is and what I'm giving. Oh, the biggest part of this, guys, is to be you. The biggest thing that you can bring value in is who you are. The worst thing you can do is try to be somebody else. I don't follow any coaches. I do not watch any coaches' stories. I don't even have my own coaches. I actually have my own like team Instagram page where I'll like flip over to there and like kind of make sure everyone's like doing their stuff. But as far as my own thing, I don't follow any coaches, because when I started, I don't know if you guys know who like Raina Odell is. When I started coaching, I was obsessed with her. Like, I thought she was the coolest person, and she was so raw and like badass, and I wanted to be her. So I started thinking, okay, well, she's successful and she does all this, so I'm going to show up on Instagram and I'm going to act just like her. And I did. And I aligned my posts. I would like steal her wording. I would steal what she did on her stories, and it came off very inauthentic. That's not me. Perfect example, my upline is Ashley Dyson. If you know who she is, she loves like fashion hauls. She's a dog mama. She loves doing Trader Joe's. I had a jar of pickles and hot sauce in my fridge. I had a disgusting basement that I did my workouts in. I have literally no idea how to do fashion, and I have pink hair. Like, I am nothing like her. And if I try to come on here and be like, okay, guys, this is where I got this from today, and try to show my Amazon hauls, it would come off so fake. And so whoever your coach is, whoever your mentor is, whoever you look up to on social media and in this business, they are great. They are wonderful, and they're great as a mentor, but giving their value is not going to give your people value. So the biggest thing that you can do to bring your people value is to be you. Even if you feel like you don't have a story, you have a story. And I think people think that like their life is like boring, and that's why I'm like, my story is like deep and dark, because it is. But even if you feel like you don't have a story, someone else relates to that. Someone else out there is thinking that their life is super boring, and this somehow can bring light into your life. Maybe it can bring light into theirs. Even if that's the only story you have, that is relatable to people. Don't try to be anybody else. It's going to come off inauthentic, and that's the biggest thing that you can do. Sorry, I squirrel and go off on like rampage, so I make sure I write notes. Okay. So sharing, so like I said, I give tips from the trainers. I show everything in the background. You know, we can come on here and we can show the perfect workout move and the perfect thing. I try to show when I laugh. I try to show when I'm happy. Talk about it, like share your experience with it. And I don't know if anyone's gonna like disagree with this, but every single launch, every single launch, I run a group for it and I promote the shit out of it. But if it is not my program, I'm not going to come on here and do it, because bar blend. I am a weightlifting girl. Bar blend came out and I was like, I tried it, and it was not my thing. And I did not end up doing it. I promoted it and I ran a group for it for everybody who wanted to do it, because we are coaches and we should be doing that. Because the beauty of Beachbody is we have so much, but I didn't come on here and try to do it because it wasn't my program, and that also comes off inauthentic. So when you're sharing things, just make sure that you are sharing that you're fun with it, because people are going to feel your energy. Make sure you're doing a program that you're excited about. More about sharing. People don't know what this is. I think we follow coaches so much that we think that everyone knows what coaching is. Everyone knows what Beachbody is. We come on here and we share that we're drinking our pre. Nobody knows what this is. I was coaching for, it was like end of 2019, and my friend reached out to me and she was like, what is this yellow stuff you're always drinking? She was my friend, and she came on here and she had followed me for a year, and she didn't know what this was because I never said what it was. I was on here thinking like, oh, it's my go-go juice. Nobody knows what that is. Or I used to do the thing where I would like do my show my shake and like do a little blender. Oh my God, my baby coach Kate. But I would just show my blender and I would be like, oh, superfoods. Nobody knows what that is. Give them some sort of value with that. Tell them how, this is replacing your coffee. It only has 100 milligrams of caffeine. It doesn't make my anxiety go crazy, because I struggle with anxiety and so does my people. Coffee makes me crazy. This helps with that. Superfoods, I highlight an ingredient every single day, how this ingredient helps me, especially with the adaptogens. Learn your stuff, learn about these products, and share the value that people can get with that. Give them something more than, whenever you're posting a story, I really like kind of audit yourself for a week. Just go through, watch your own stories back and ask yourself, did people learn from this today? Or was I just doing a, hi, look at me? Because nobody cares about a look at me, right? You want to be helping people. Talk in a we, talk as if you guys are in this together and you're not just narrating yourself, giving them value that way. The biggest thing that I think people forget about, which it drives me nuts because I do too, that recognition part is huge. Sharing on your stories, other people, because people are going to watch you all day, but they need to know. I know we're speaking to our people, but me right now, I am not who I was when I started. Like right now, I am pretty in shape and I'm doing these intense workouts, but maybe there's someone out there who is a lot heavier than me, or maybe there's someone out there who's injured, or maybe there's guys out there watching me. I don't work with guys, but you need to show other people to show that they can do it too. It's not just you. And maybe you're a new coach and you're like, well, I don't have anyone to share yet. I'm sure your coach has testimonials. I'm sure you're in a challenge group, or maybe someone checked in and shared a success from that day. Share that on your story, shout them out, and do more than just, share a transformation and say like, oh, she lost 10 pounds. Who is that person? I love sharing my challengers. So one of my coaches, like I'll share, I'm 33 years old. Somehow I attract coaches and challengers that are like 21. I don't know why. But I love sharing that too, because people that, are my age, I have these younger girls watching me. So I share, this girl, she's 21 years old. She's a grad student. She's super busy and she just transferred into this new job. And she did this 80-day program and got into incredible shape. And these are her results. This person is a mom. She's a stay-at-home mom. And she does give a little bit of a background, a little blurb of the story of it, so people can see that that person is a real person and you're not just showing a before and after. People see that all the time on other companies and they don't even know how many times. The reason I had a bad taste in my mouth about network marketing is because I would watch other like companies like stories and posts and stuff like that, and I'd be like, is that even real? Is that even theirs? So kind of putting like a humanizing way behind it. I scroll through my challenge group, obviously like blur out names, but just showing that you're working with actual people and you're actually getting people results, giving that recognition, something every day, just something every day, showing that somehow that you're with other people and that there's transformations happening. Call to actions every single day. It might sound repetitive and it might sound like absolutely nobody's hitting on your polls and nobody touches my polls unless I'm talking about, what kind of nails should I get tomorrow. But I do that call to action every single day and say, who wants a sample workout, who wants to jump in, or do you want to, try some sort of call to action every single day, giving them, so that it's basically just to know that they're invited. If you're not doing a call to action, they don't know that they're invited to come. So, it's great for you to maybe post your workout, and it's great for you to, post, a transformation, but do they know that they're invited? You got to make sure that they know they're invited, even if they're not hitting the poll. I promise you, all the top coaches, I guarantee there's not many people hitting their polls. It's all coming from inside the DM, which is what I want to talk about next, is the invites. The invites. How many people have sent more than 5 invites this week? I know it's only Monday. Wahoo! Good. Invites are, everything happens in the DMs, and I don't do cold invites. I don't believe in cold invites, but I do go through and I invite everyone that's watching my stories, everyone that's like all my posts, and then I go through and I do like someone asked me if I invite everyone that like follows me. I don't necessarily do that, but I will go into people that follow me, and I'll do kind of just to kind of like pop in, because a lot of people follow me back, but then like they're never interacting on my stuff. And if you don't feel like you have anybody to invite because they're not on your post, there's a way for you to go and kind of get those people onto your page. I go into whoever's following me and just say, hey, just wanted to say I really appreciate you following on my journey. If you ever think about doing a program with me, you can reach out. I actually have the exact like thing that I say, but it's not an invite. It's kind of just like I forgot what it's called, but kind of just like a love bomb little post, just like a little thank you for following me. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Anything, health, fitness, or mindset related, I'm always here to help. And then they're usually just like, oh, thank you. And then all of a sudden now they're watching my stories, and now they're on my posts, and now they can see, and that gives you a little bit of a segue to get into there and get them onto your post and see what you're about. So I do that, but guys, don't be scared to invite. I remember the first time I started invite, if there's any new coaches on here, I was so terrified of it. And I thought everyone was going to. I sat there with my friend Emma, because she started coaching with me, and we sat there at her house and we busted out. I only had 60 followers. My Instagram I had nothing. And I busted out. I invited every single one of them. We threw our phones to the side, and that was it. After that, I was like so scared. I'm like, everyone's going to be so mad and like yell at me. Nobody yelled at me. Yes, some people, if somebody gets mad at your invite, like, move on. You're never going to see that person again. Who cares? Who are they in your life? But no one was mean to me. I actually had some people that were like, and the reason I don't get, and I'm not trying to like up myself, but the reason that I don't get as many mean messages back, I feel, is because I show up to myself. I'm authentic to me, and I'm actually showing up here and doing the thing. It's very hard to be mean to somebody who's coming into your inbox if you're actually doing the things. Does that make sense? It's, I feel like if someone came to me and they weren't sharing their own journey and they weren't doing it, and then they come to me and ask me to do it, I would kind of get nasty back. But I feel like that's why, of course, I do get, negative things, but you just move on. But your invite should be authentic to you. It should be in your voice. And the invite is great, but I truly believe, I loved when you guys were talking in the beginning about how you're going to hit Success Club. And the biggest thing was follow-ups. I follow up every single month. Like I said, those first 60 invites I sent with my friend, one of them, I've invited her since that day one. She never answered me every single month. Beginning of this year, she signed up as a coach with me. Not even a challenger. All of a sudden she was answering me back, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm looking into this coaching thing, because I started talking about the cycling bike and stuff. Every single month, guys. If they're not, if they really wanted for you to leave them alone, they would just unfollow you. It's so easy. It's so easy for them to just hit unfollow. So don't feel like you're bugging them unless they give you a hard no. But I invite with your heart, create your own. Remember that whoever that you're inviting behind there has a heartbeat behind it. They're an actual person. Treat it as such. Don't go in there and, I know we like to do, power hour and like mass invites. There's a time and place for that, but there's also a time and place for getting in there, really looking at what you guys have talked about and crafting an invite to them. Use their name, say something that really feels to your heart. Don't just take your coach's invite and copy and paste it, because that comes off non-authentic. What I like to do is when I'm feeling like stuck on how to invite, I use a voice message and I talk to myself, or I pretend I'm talking to my best friend, and then I listen to it back and I type that out exactly, because I know that sounds like me. And that's giving value. When someone hears it, it sounds like you. Something I started doing this year was actually sending voice message follow-ups, not the initial invite, but on follow-ups, I always use voice memos. It was really uncomfortable at first. But once I started getting into it, it actually comes a lot more natural now. I don't overthink and I don't erase and overthink things. It just comes off natural. And a lot of people that have started, they said that the reason that they signed up with me is because I voice messaged them. They heard that I'm an actual person. I'm not just, someone behind a computer and, copying and pasting. They heard my excitement when I'm describing the program. And that makes a big thing, and that brings value to them. There's so many people out there copying and pasting scripts. So I really highly recommend doing something different and really making it sound like you. Having confidence, ask and listen. Again, if there's any new coaches, I know sometimes it can be really overwhelming or really exciting actually, when someone says, yeah, sure, give me more information. Then what do? Throw up all over them. And we're like, okay, here's everything all at once. And they're like, whew, I don't want all of that. give them value by actually being someone that can help them. Ask them a question. When they say, you know, I'm ready, what's the information? Ask them a question. Ask them, okay, you know, what do you like, or what is your experience like with health and fitness, or what are you looking to achieve, so that you have something to build off of so you can curate it to them. You don't have to do this, but something that I'm trying out on my, I got rid of my entire link tree. It's actually worked out pretty well so far. And I made a type form, if you guys don't know what that is. And it's basically like I did like a fitness quiz. So when people click it, they fill it out and it says, you know, what kind of workouts do you like? How long do you like them to be? A bunch of different questions. I can send it to you guys if you guys want. And then at the end, they submit their email. And then what I do is I send them over 2 sample workouts. So I actually curate it to them and I say, you know, based on what you said, like, I really think you would like this one or this one, and this is why. And then I give them the 2 sample workouts. So they know that I'm really interested in what they need, than not just what the new program is. Like I said, when Bar Blend came out, that wasn't my tribe. And there's a lot of girls that, you know, my tribe, they don't like bar. They're more weightlifting girls. If I went to them and I was like, we're doing Bar Blend and you have to do Bar Blend, they probably wouldn't have signed up. But if we look at all the different programs that we have and really curate it to them, then that's, I feel, gives a lot more value. Okay, so the last thing is giving your, I'm not even gonna go over personal development. The only thing I'll say about personal development, because that's just part of like going all in on yourself, is that you can consume as much as you want, but if you don't apply it, it doesn't mean shit. You have to actually apply it. That was the biggest thing for me. I was so against personal development, and I would read it and I would be like, okay, I checked off. I read like 10 pages of You Are a Badass. But like, what did I do with it? I didn't do anything with it. Or how many trainings I would get on and I would get off and I would just like, whew, it was all gone. I wouldn't do any of it. Personal development, you have to apply it. My favorite thing, which is going to kind of go into the whole like diamond mindset, I'm going to try to transfer into that, is showing up to your challenge group. Be your own, you should be your own best challenger. All of my coaches came from my challenge group. I do not have any cold coaches. That's just how I run it. I don't know coaches that just signed up from Instagram. They all came from my challenge group, and that's because I give my all. I love my group. I know how my challenge group changed my life, so I give that back to my challenge group. My challenge group literally saved my life, so I give that back, and I'm my own best challenger. I show up every single day. I log my own workout. I show up just like I'm part of that, just like I'm one of them, because we are one of them. We are their coach, but you're still a challenger. You're still a Beachbody On Demand member. You're still in this with them, and they need to feel that from you. I do leaderboards, I give prizes, I make sure I go in, just like I have a type form for that. Sometimes, you know, once every couple months, I'll do a type form and ask them for, you know, anonymous feedback, you know, what do you like about the group, so I can adjust it. But I make sure I'm giving them value, because that is where all of my, that's where all my coaches come from. I love my challenge group. And a lot of my Success Club points come from renewals. A lot of them come from renewals. And I think that says a lot, because that means that I'm giving people a good experience so much that they want to come back a year later. And I think that says a lot as a coach. So if you're, you know, coming up and you're in this, like, think about where you'll be a year from now, because you'll probably have a lot of people. If you show up as the best coach that you are and you keep being your own challenger and giving value to the people, I think that's a mistake that, you know, sometimes we are so focused on who we can get out there. We keep grabbing and grabbing. We forget about the people we have right here. And that's like the biggest mistake I think a lot of us can make is, you know, it's important to hit Success Club and it's important to be bringing in new blood. But at the same time, it's important to focus on who you have now, because who you have now, I guarantee, are going to be your next rock star coaches. They're going to be the next people who are stick with you and will be here a year from now. So don't be so, you know, overwhelmed with looking out there that you forget who you have here. Make sure you're taking care of your people. That's what puts Beachbody apart from a lot of other network marketing companies, is that we don't just sign people up and sell them something and go away. We are with them for life, and they feel that and they like that, and that's what puts us apart, and I think makes us a very authentic, wonderful, genuine company. Okay, so hopefully that was a lot about value at the Vitals. I didn't want to go to, hopefully I'm still, okay, we're good. I want to give you guys a little bit about diamond mindset, because like I said, I was a turtle in this. So when I started in 2018, I hung out at, you know, I was hitting Success Club 10, but I really wasn't like ranking anything. I signed up my mom, and then I was a leader of challengers. I hung out at Emerald for like ever, and I didn't do anything else with it. And then I saw in 2019, I saw Ashley was taking her Team Elevate onto to Disney World. All the diamonds were going to Disney World, and I was like, I want to go to Disney World. And I was so FOMO over it. And I told them that, you know, I told my coach, I said, when you come back from Disney World, I'm going to be diamond. I wasn't even close to diamond. Wasn't even close. But I said, when you get back from Disney World, I'm going to be diamond. I had been coaching for over a year, and I was still just hanging out at Emerald, hitting Success Club 10. I was a leader of challengers. I was rocking challengers, but I wasn't growing a business because I wasn't talking about the business. I wasn't talking about coaching. I was literally just all about my challenge groups. Guys, you gotta talk about coaching. You can't plant apple seeds and expect oranges to grow. You can't. And we love talking about, and you gotta talk about all the aspects of coaching. It's the easiest thing to talk about the community. The community is wonderful. It's great to boomerang your Zoom call and say, woohoo, I got into a training tonight. But are you really talking about it? Maybe you didn't make any, true money that week, but what else has this done for you? Even if you made $50 from one challenge pack this week, that could change someone's life right there. That's a big deal. That could fill someone's gas for the week. Talking about those little things that it helps you with. Obviously, you have to use income disclaimers and all of that. I try to just be like vague about it, just showing that. But talk about coaching. You have to talk about it. But what I did is it was funny. I did end up hitting diamond, and I did that because I signed up my mom. Like I said, my mom was my first, challenger, or my first coach. And then I had one other girl, who she's not a coach anymore. She's still one of my good friends. But I had her, and she wanted to be a working coach. So I just had those two, and that was my Emerald. But I started showing up on Instagram like I had an entire team. I made a team name. I ordered, so I made Team Impact. I said, my name is Team Impact. I don't have any coaches. My mom's not really a coach. She just loves the shakes. And Becca is brand new, and she doesn't know how to coach either. We're kind of figuring it out together. But I made Team Impact. I bought us team ring. Oh, I don't have it on. I bought us little wave rings, and I said, whenever my girls hit Emerald, I'm going to give them this little wave ring on their thumb, and we're all going to be matching. I didn't have any Emeralds, but I said I was going to have some. I made a team page. I started showing up, and I started talking about coaching as if I had an entire team. And so when I hit diamond, it was with discount coaches. It was with my mom, and then my one coach we worked together. I got her to Emerald, helped her sign discount coaches. And when I hit diamond, it was one of my friends. She does Young Living, and she reached out to me, and she was like, oh my God, Kate, I'm so happy. Because I posted on social media, like, I hit diamond. I was so excited. And my coach was shouting me out, and she was like, are you quitting your job? I'm like, no, I'm not quitting my job. But it was funny that she said that. And I called her because I was like, that's really funny, because I was showing up as if I was going to quit my job. I was showing up as if I had a whole rock star team, and that Team Impact was this big thing, because I knew it was going to be. I showed up with this diamond mindset. And the only thing I'm going to change about how I really showed up with a diamond mindset is that I should have showed up with a 2-star mindset. If you guys want to make this a business, don't make diamond your goal. Diamond is where everything starts. Where you want to get is 2-star. 2-star is where the income happens. 2-star is where everything really starts growing. And I wish I had known that a lot sooner than I did. But if you reach for 2-star and you fall a little bit short of that goal, you're going to hit diamond. But yeah, this business is so fun at 2-star. But diamond is where it starts, and it's really, we overcomplicate it. I highly recommend just, know that you show up like the leader you are. Every single one of you on this call is a leader. Just the fact that you're on this call. The fact that you're on this call, you believe in yourself. You are a leader. I don't care if you don't have coaches yet. I had my first, I was showing up to all my coaches' team calls. I was showing up to Ashley's team calls. And I had a couple coaches. I had Becca, and I had, 2 other that were not really coaching, but kind of. But I didn't host my own team calls because I'm like, I don't have enough of a team. Yes, you do. I don't care if you have one coach. There was a bunch of team calls in the beginning. I was like, okay, I'm going to host team calls. And there was a bunch that I was just talking to myself, but that grew me. I recorded them and I posted them, and I said, catch the recording, but how would I have known how to speak on team calls if I didn't do that, So I promise you, I know it sounds weird, but make a team name when you get off this call. Make a team name. Think about what really speaks to your brand, and make a team name. Get some cool ideas out there. Think of a team symbol. Make this fun. Getting to diamond is fun. This shouldn't be stressful. And just know that you are the leader that you show up as. Show up on social media. Talk about coaching. Talk about what it's done for you. We all know, like I said, AD Obsession changed my personal life. Lift Forward changed my business. Talk about how this has changed your personal life, but also talk about how this has changed your business, because they go hand in hand. So I think that's everything. Sorry, I go on for a long time. I don't want to go too late.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I literally, guys, I have just can you hear all the notes? one thing I've got to like pinpoint a couple of things, and guys in the chat, ask her some, there are moments right now where she has some solid info for you guys. If you're wondering anything about Diamond, if you're wondering anything about her follow-up process, if you're wondering anything about how she helped at least 5 people at a minimum for the last 36 months, drop those questions in the chat. But I'm going to recap a couple of things while you guys do that for her. You guys, she said that in the beginning, right? She reached out to her coach, told her the price, and then she stopped talking to her, right? And my favorite part though is I wrote down, how do we become the kind of women others can count on when they are ready? Because her coach was there when she was ready for her health journey, but her coach was also there when she was ready for her business journey. And so I think it's important to remember that sometimes we get our coaches to join with a discount and we're so frustrated because we're like, they're not building businesses. But how can we become the kind of mentor that is there when they are ready to build that business, right? I love Emma. I don't know who Emma is, and I want to be her best friend. And I want whatever buddy system you guys have, I want to be part of it, because I wrote B and Emma. Emma did not need to grab Kait by the arm and say, hey, sis, you blocked me, but I found a way to find you because I haven't seen you. How can you be an Emma for someone that's gone MIA? Right? Like, I want to be an Emma. And I also wrote that she said, I wasn't even a coach yet, but she was sharing her journey. And I wrote, how do you get your people to start doing this piece? Because I believe that was the bridge right there. That's the bridge. So how do you get your people who are like, I'm not a coach. I know I signed up for the discount, but I'm not a coach. How do you get them to start believing that they can do that? By sharing their journey. Okay, those are a couple of the nuggets. Kait, I see a bunch of questions. I'm going to let you rattle through these.
Okay. I'd love to hear how you consistently have helped more than 3 for so many months. Follow-ups. I invite a minimum of, so the business activity tracker says invite 5 people a day. I set a 100 invites a week. Hear me out. Think about that. If you send 20, even if you send 10 a day, that's 70 invites. So if you break it down like that, but invites, follow up. I follow up every single month unless they straight up say, don't message me anymore. I'm following up. And just consistency. It's literally just consistency. And I wish I had some secret to help you more than that, but it's literally just consistency and following up and not giving up on yourself and not giving up when someone says, you have a bad day or someone says no to you, or, you're not getting where you want to be. Like I said, I was a turtle in this. It took a long time, but consistency. I know you mentioned that you invite everyone who likes your stuff and watches your stories, but do you invite them if you haven't had a combo with them before? If they're watching my stories and they're commenting on my stuff, yes. Even if, so something that I pulled it up because I couldn't remember what I said, but I said, hi, I hope you don't mind this random message. I just wanted to reach out and say thanks so much for supporting my journey. I know some people like to just follow along for fun, and some people are interested in what I do, but might be too nervous to reach out. Lol me. If you ever consider doing a program with me or need anything health, fitness, or mindset, let me know. I'm always here to help. I have never had anyone say anything negative. They're usually like, oh my God, thank you. And then we can go from there, because then we can build off of that. So yeah, if they're on my page and they're watching my stuff, they know what I'm doing. Everyone knows what you're doing. If they're watching your stories, they know that you're a coach and they know that you have something. So I will invite them. I can send you guys the quiz, or if you want to, my Insta handle is Kait, so KITK8, number 8, Teft, TEFFT. I'll just type it. I'll just do that. But you can see it right in my bio. If you do fill it out, just like put like coach or something, so I don't like email you. But you can check that out. It's really helpful, and it tracks your people for you too, because it saves all the answers in the email. So that's kind of a nice way. How do you stay motivated and inspiring when you're doing a program that isn't your jam? I don't do a program that isn't my jam. I don't do a program. Like I said, I tried to do Bar Blend. I really tried to love it. All my girls loved it. My coaches loved it. And I was like, I'm trying. If you show up and you're doing a program that you hate, that's literally showing what Beachbody isn't. Beachbody on Demand is amazing because we have so many programs for so many different people. So don't feel like just because 645 is out right now, I will always purchase the early access and learn about it and run a group for it always, because we are coaches and that's what we do. But if it wasn't my jam, if it was something I really didn't like, I would switch to something else and just be open about it on social media. Say, you know what, like, I didn't really like this program. It wasn't for me. I'm really excited to do this 100-day workout program because the workouts are short and fun and has music. And I think that's the beauty of what I have to offer, is that we have something for everybody. Do you track follow-ups? And if so, what is your system making sure they don't fall through the cracks? I don't try, if people don't answer, if someone doesn't answer me, I don't track it. But just, I'm very simple. I don't have time for like big fancy systems, but just in Instagram, there's a primary and a general folder. If someone answers me and shows any interest whatsoever, I move them over to the general folder so that I know everyone over there showed some sort of interest. And then a couple weeks from there, I can follow up. And then the next month, I will follow up with them again. If they don't answer me or they're still not interested, then I'll move them back to primary. So that's just an easy way. I only do my business on Instagram. So I just track it that way. And then with the type form, it does track their emails. So that's an easy way to do that. But yeah, as soon as someone, so literally, even if really quick when I'm like at work, because I'm a full-time accountant, guys, I work full-time. I will literally like just, if someone answered me, I move them over to my general folder right away, even so I just don't lose their message. Yeah, sorry, there's no secrets. Find something as your jam. If they're consistently watching your stories but never respond, how do you handle that? I know people have different like ways of doing that, but I literally follow up every single month. No one answers me. Literally, I send a lot of messages every single week, and I get so many non-responses. Like I said, that one girl, I messaged her in 2018, and I followed up with her every single month, just letting her know the new program that we're doing or whatever new group I was running. She constantly watched my stories. She never answered me. Sometimes she would like emoji react one of my stories or reply to one of them, but then she would never answer me when I replied back to her. And then she reached out at the beginning of this year and was like, okay, I kind of want to do this now. I heard about that cycling program, and we don't even have a bike yet, but she's in for it now. So I literally follow up every single month. If they don't respond, unless they unfollow me, they can easily unfollow me. So I hope
that was such a great tip though, to slide them over into the general folder, because it's kind of empty over there, right? So it's a great way to just keep that as an organized place. I love that.
Yeah.
You guys, did you just hear this? She's 2-star premier, SC10 plus for 36 months in a row, and a full-time accountant. Did we just hear that correctly? Like, why not you? You know, I think sometimes we get this lie, we plant this lie in our heads that the only way I can be successful or get past this rank or get to this milestone is if I do Beachbody full-time like her. That's a deep-seated lie that you've got to start breaking out of, because it doesn't have to be this or that. You don't have to do Beachbody full-time and quit your job. You can do both. Just like I say, you could be busy and work out. You can be a full-time 9-to-5, love your job, and still love serving other people in health and wellness as a side hustle, bring extra income to bless your family and bless other people's lives. And I freaking love it, Kate. Thank you for sharing that little piece there at the end.
No.
I didn't want that to slip through their ears at all, because that is huge.
I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I always forget. I work full time. It's relatable, guys. People relate to that. Like, you know, everyone else is working too.
Yes. So good. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we take a picture and hop off?
I think I'm good. I got nothing else.
This is so good. So stinking good. And you guys, I love that line at the end. I grab a line and I can't stop saying it. You can't plant apple seeds and expect oranges to grow. So for those of you who are trying to build teams with other working coaches, stop just talking about bod groups only. You have to talk about coaching and the impact it's making in your life. And just more than just, you know, the boomerang of a Monday night training. So I love that. I love that analogy. Thank you for that. All right, guys, I'm going to hit stop on the recording.